everybody, welcome back to the Malbeefance channel. This is turn 15 or episode 15 of our series replay for Strategic Command American Civil War. Things got pretty dull last turn simply because of all the upgrading that had to be done, but I was in a small bit of a panic because on the very turn that the Union gets infantry equipment level 2, the computer deploys a unit that already has infantry equipment level 2. So the computer has had that technological advance at least a turn or two longer than I have. Who knows how many of the Confederate forces have already been upgraded to the more powerful weapons. So hopefully this turn will be a little bit more exciting. And with that said, let's go ahead and advance the turn and see what we get. All right, War Department reports Corps Organization Development. So that gives us Corps Organization Level 2. And there's our ledger for next turn coming up. Computer is calculating supply. All right, what's it planning? And it's got a solid defensive line here between Fredericksburg and Culpeper. They could actually use that line to advance north, try and push me back towards Alexandria and D.C. Oh, did we get it? Yes. Awesome. One more Confederate gunboat down the tubes. So yeah, so the computer's going to push from P Ridge, trying to head back up towards Carthage and Springfield. And there we go. There goes Fort Gibson. I held the place a lot longer than I had anticipated. So I consider it a bit of a victory. I held it as long as I did. So we've had a little bit of a setback here in the Far West Theater with the loss of that one cavalry regiment. But hopefully we can turn that around. So they're pushing back up towards Cairo again. Or actually, I think what they're doing is just trying to push me away from Dresden. Yeah, it looks like the computer is organized a large cavalry force over here in the Shenandoah Valley. I guess the idea is to try and see if they can outflank me. Alright, bushwhackers in Missouri. This signals the end of the Confederate turn. And there is our blockade report. Calculating supply for our upcoming turn. Alright, the General Beauregard River Timberclad was sunk. That was the one down there in the Mississippi Delta. And I had a regiment destroyed. That'd be the guy that was guarding Fort Gibson, or garrisoning Fort Gibson. So there's our activity summary. And gunboat showing up there in the Mississippi Delta. Alright, so what's this? As our enemies continue to push deeper into the south, it is possible that the rebel government may attempt to expand their existing guerrilla operations, which Jefferson Davis has previously authorized with the Partisan Ranger Act. If they do so, we can expect an increase in partisan activity in all of the rebel states, but especially in Virginia, the Carolinas, and Georgia. This will result in some partisan locations that previously only damaged settlements are now creating a new partisan unit. So obviously the recommendation is go ahead and press the P button to see where the partisans will pop up and make sure you've got that garrisoned. Alright, so here are my reinforcements. 2nd Union Corps. I'm tempted to put them right here in Northern Virginia. I really am. But I want to make some inroads over here in Kentucky and Tennessee. I really want to be pushing down the between the Mississippi and the Tennessee rivers, heading for New Orleans. All right, so we get General Reynolds, thankfully. So General Reynolds, he can help out here in Northern Virginia. As General McDowell and General Banks just don't have a lot of coverage. All right, so we'll upgrade 37th Ohio. Upgrade as many units as I can. I know I'm surrendering the initiative by doing this. So we will attempt to advance in at least a couple of locations. Okay, that didn't go as well as I had hoped. Do I want to advance? No, I want to stay on my side of the Rappahannock, at least for the moment. I've got a lot of these brigades reinforced and upgraded. So we can go ahead and we can try and step over the Rappahannock and push towards the Rapidan next turn. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what we can do with this cavalry unit here. Can I keep them from escaping? Yes. No. Grr. Alright, let's make contact with them. And we'll go ahead and we'll hold our line there. So we advanced on Harrisonburg. We pushed back one corps. They're going to need a lot of repairs. Alright, so that's going to take care of Northern Virginia. Let's go ahead and get the gunboats out now that they've been upgraded. Let's see what we can see. Alright, that gets Benjamin Butler moved over. He can help out with the Marines. Now, can they upgrade yet? Nope. Nope, they do not have. They're not close enough to supply. So I hate surrendering the territory, but oh, hello. Yep, the computer was anticipating I'd just keep pushing down the coast. Alright, so we have got to get out of here. Alright. So finishing up with naval forces here. Do I have anything up here in the north? Nope. Okay. Alright, so get all these gunboats back out. Their supply is good, his supply is good. Now down here along the Carolina coast, so he's down to 7, so let's pull him out. And let me shift a few guys around so we still have full coverage. Alright, so we can bring Powhatan in for some time. So now we'll get him in for repairs. Now we are choking off supply trying to come through the Gulf. Where's that 7? There we go. He's got 7, so we send him in for resupply. Alright. Now I don't have to actually be on top of the convoy line in order to be blockading it. I can be off 1 hex on either side. But I just like standing on the line. Alright, so that'll take care of naval forces. Let's go ahead and get out here to the far west, see what we can do. And so my California column is fully upgraded now. So next turn we can start advancing with them. Why can I not upgrade him down there? Alright, fine. Can I get anybody else? Nope. Alright, so let's pull him out, get him further back. Alright, so that takes care of far west. We lost Fort Gibson. I mean, I usually lose it, but still. We had held on to it for so long, I was thinking maybe, just maybe. Alright, can I do anything with this infantry division moving up? Not really. Alright, so let's do this. I can't leave him in Joplin. They'll tear him up. Alright. I hate paying for the same real estate twice, but I need more strength down here. That is 1, 2, 3. There's at least another infantry division over here, so that's 4 infantry divisions. Oh yeah, computer was lulling me into a false sense of security in a few locations. Hopefully I can get some of that initiative back here. Yeah, I know these guys have taken a beating. Can I reinforce him to max? Nope, in that case. Get him back across the water. How's about him? Yep, he can get back up to max. So can the core. Yep. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have a delay a game here in the center theater also, while I go ahead and lick my wounds. Whoops. There we go. Alright. Okay, so we'll hold our defensive line here. General Halleck's going to have to take the baton now, while Grant's forces recuperate. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry divisions and the cavalry division. Well, I kept saying the Confederate Army had to be somewhere. And now I'm seeing I was partially right. I knew there was going to be there seemed to be a force building up out here, but apparently instead of being on this side of the Tennessee River, it's over on this side. That's actually helpful. I mean, my intention had been to build up Grant's army as much as I could to begin with. So that's already been getting done. So even though it's slightly blunted there, at least I know that Pope's forces are not in extremis. Alright, I think that is going to do it. Yeah, it looks like that's going to do it for operational and combat movement. Not a lot going on. I spent a lot for upgrades. So I don't have anything for reinforcements this turn. Oh, I don't have enough to do infantry equipment again. Screwed up by putting that into core development. Alright. Done is done. Alright, anything else that I can do right now? I've only got 140, so it has to be a 100. So there's nothing. Experimental balloons is the only one for, so forget that. I don't need fort modernization. Alright, so we're banking that. Can I purchase anything? Nothing that I want. Alright, so that is going to do it for that turn. Let's go ahead and advance a turn, see what we get. See how things are developing. So, yeah, the Confederates have got a whole line going on there. Apache warriors in the New Mexico territory raiding. Bushwhackers in Missouri. Alright, so it looks like the Confederates are giving me some pushback here. We'll see how far I gotta run. Hopefully not too far. Alright, progress in heavy mortars up 47%. There's our ledger. And calculating supply for the Confederacy. Alright, so we're going to see that other infantry division down there, the one that originally occupied Fort Gibson. Oh, thank you. That was mighty nice of you. Sacrifice that brigade. Oh. And we lose the division. So that brigade sacrifice was not in vain. That cost me an infantry division. Oh yeah, here it comes. I kept wondering where the Confederate Army was, and here we go. Push back in front of Pea Ridge and chased away from Fredericksburg. They got Fort Gibson last turn. Alright, anything else? We're reestablishing their line along Fort Thorne there. Yep, okay, that's going to be it. So, pro-Union bandits. Don't see that every day. Apaches in New Mexico again. Oh, they're attacking the units. Oh. The Apaches actually attacked my units out there in the far west. So the units took damage. Alright, Video Toaster Division was wiped out. We got to reconstitute them. Okay, so the Confederates took back Washington, North Carolina. And there's the rest of our activity summary for the turn. Oliver Hardy Sr. is wounded in battle. Brigade or cavalry spotted in Fayetteville. D.H. Hill headquarters spotted near Hopkinsville. Alright, so let's go ahead, let's do the naval stuff first. Not a whole lot going on there. And they have fortification modernization level 2. Can I finally upgrade the? Yes, thank you. Yeah, I didn't stop him in Washington because I want to be able to break contact from that brigade, or excuse me, that infantry corps. Whoops, not what I wanted to do. Alright, so I need these monitors keeping an eye on anything coming out of New Bern. And I'll also see if these two help cover their retreat, or their strategic redeployment. Alright, let's get General Reynolds into the fight. Okay. How do we want to do this? Yeah, so we're getting pushed back from the Rappahannock. Alright, I'm pretty sure I can hold that line there in front of Warrenton. Alright, so for the time being, I'll go ahead and hold that line right there. We'll go ahead and we'll push back down towards Fredericksburg as soon as I'm able to recover this unit, and hopefully these guys won't take too much damage from this Confederate offensive. So the computer's taking advantage while it can. I don't blame it, I would too. Alright, so that 7 can come back for resupply. Alright, and look at the rest of these guys. Alright, so Colorado is running low on supplies. Stellenbosch is okay. Minnesota is running low on supply, so let's swap those two. Now over here on the Mississippi, don't have a lot going on. There's all of my gunboats. Let's go ahead and walk back up the river again. Just see what we can see. Alright, supply for these guys is good. That just leaves the frigates out here. Alright. See if we can't recover over here in the far west theater. Try and cut him off. That Apache attack hurt. Nope, he still can't upgrade. Alright, looks like that's all I'm going to be able to do over there for the moment, but at least we're in position. We can go ahead and we can take that brigade, or regiment, that cavalry regiment. Alright, so they're going to stand in Fort Gibson. Okay, that's fine. And they're still in Honey Springs. Alright. Nope, I still can't upgrade him. Alright. This is not wise. But if it redirects their attacks, it gives me an opportunity to run him out of supply. He's already low on supply. Oof. This is not good. Alright. So 2, 3, 4. He could actually make it there. Alright. So we'll move Fremont over to Carthage. About him, nope. Alright, swap him out. Hopefully I can upgrade him. Alright, so I got to switch from offense to defense down here in Missouri. Now back over to the Central Theater. Can he upgrade where he is? Yes, he is. Alright, so let's bring Halleck, well, at least some of his forces, bring them across the river to try and spook the Confederate forces. Might slow them down on their push for Cairo while I get a chance to get back on my feet. Alright, so moving that corps in there That is not a wise move. Be nice if I could push him back across the water. Maybe next turn. Well, on second turn. Oh, excellent. All right, that was worth it. That was definitely worth it. Whoops. All right. All right. Whoops. All right, so upgrade that core. All right, so that'll give me 2 core over here once I'm able to get him down here. All right, destroying that infantry division definitely going to slow them down a little bit. All right, so can Halleck reach? No, he can't. Oh, excuse me. Try and keep the supply lines open here. Alright, let's start pushing. Because apparently it looks like they put their strength over here instead of over here. So now that I've got all these guys upgraded, let's go ahead and start pushing. Let's go ahead, continue with the attacks on Bowling Green. Maybe we can take the town this time. Oh yeah. 3 to 5. Judy Kim. I know I've been putting your guys through a lot. Far S, same thing. Alright, so they cleared the town, but because of the hit they took, I don't want to stick them out there exposed. So let's go ahead and do this. And that'll go ahead and that'll block the hole, and I don't have my cavalry out here exposed to these other units. Alright, check and make sure. Yep, they're still down there. Let's see. No, we can't see what's going on in Carthage. Alright, so that's going to take care of Center Theater. Now over here, the Ohio. Yep, he's got 2. Alright, ran him off. Okay, so I think that is going to do it for operational movement and all for this turn. Okay, so research. Infantry equipment before I forget again. Anything else? Production technology. Make stuff cheaper. Logistics, spying. Try and speed up my research and development. Okay, so that's only going to leave 50 points. I've only got 213, but that is enough for us to reconstitute Video Toaster Division. So let's get him back out there. And that is going to do it for this turn. That is also going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. Go ahead and leave a like. If you're enjoying this, go ahead and drop a comment to help grow the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with somebody if you think they're going to like this kind of content. And once again, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.